I'll go get my bow. I've always wanted to have some land. I've always kind of wanted to have my own space, my own training facility, somewhere where I can raise a family. And to just walk out morning, night, whatever it is, and just look around, I think that's just my way of just being appreciative. So we've been in South Florida for the last couple of years. We love South Florida, and we weren't really looking to move. Allie's always browsing Zillow, and I've always wanted land, and we stumbled up across this property. And she sent it to me and she was like, we need to buy this. And I was like, well, we have a house. And she's like, I think this is a great property. And I was like, all right, go look at it. She had it checked out and she's like, I think we need to buy this place. And I started looking more into it and I was like, I think we need to buy this place. So it's just under 20 acres. A lot of it's undeveloped. I want to keep it undeveloped. I love how thick it is, obviously. We want to do, if I can learn how to grow things, a garden back behind this little cut of trees here. I was looking at this and all I saw was a backstop and a rounded, like cutout area. And I was like, I think this is an infield. So I need to get a tractor. That's one thing that I've realized is I need a tractor.
I think you woke up on Christmas morning hoping there'd be a tractor with a big bow on it.
In the living room, but they don't fit.
Sorry.
Right here we're on well water, so it functions as a pump house and a greenhouse. And I'm learning how not to kill fruits and vegetables. I have some peppers going, but it's getting cold. I'm not sure if they're gonna last. I tried some starters for some apples, didn't take. And then I tried an avocado. It's just, I've only ever gotten an avocado to sprout one time. We were in Florida, and I tried, they say put it in a wet paper towel, put it somewhere warm and dark above the stove, and then I get it back and it's just moldy and gross. So I got one, I just threw it outside in a pot, and 2 months later it had sprouted. So we replanted it in the ground and it got to about this tall, and I was like, we're gonna have a full avocado tree. And I'm standing outside one morning and I'm looking over, I'm like, where is it? I go over to check it out, and the landscaping company that was hired in the neighborhood cut it in half. And I was devastated. I was devastated because it took me months. We lived on 10 acres when I was in high school. So I think you get a certain level of appreciation of just learning how to not be bored. It's all about the sites. So I have different, if you see inside you have different sites there based off of distance. It's kind of peaceful for me because it just makes me slow down a little bit. My brain's way too fast. My goal obviously is to bullseye them, but if I can stay inside that red ring, then I think it's coming out pretty good. This thing is an absolute just tank. It can go through anything. So this is trails. We're gonna try to extend, but we got just under 20 acres back there, so we haven't been able to get some of it's wet, which I personally like. One quick trip. That was special, and it just kind of felt like I was playing summer ball again. I played around that area, never at Rickwood, but I played all through the state when I was a kid, and I was like, it's summer. I'm playing baseball at the major league level in Alabama. It's like, I can treat this like I'm a kid again.
Here's a high drive to deep right field, and Donovan, an Alabama native, crushes a home run. He is the first Alabama player to play in an American League, National League, Major League game here at Rickwood Field. And how about him going deep?
I don't show a ton of emotion, and sometimes I maybe need to show a little bit more energy, but when I was coming in, I said, welcome home.
Home is our family. Wherever Brendan is, wherever we are, that's where we've made home. But it's nice to have a home base.
Growing up with my dad being military and my mom being an athlete as well, my mom was a dancer, we grew up eating, like, we didn't really eat out much. We made a lot of meals at home. Just kind of the importance of what you put in your body is kind of what you're gonna get out of it. We actually had steak last night, so we just had some. I always try to get an extra one to pick at the next couple days.
I would say restful is a really good way to explain it. We love the off season. We love to spend time watching TV together, cooking.
The off season, I think it's like I said, you get some time back. You may not do as much. You may have some, like, sit down for dinner. You may sometimes have a little bit of a slower morning, as long as it doesn't get in the way of making sure you're mentally and physically ready for the season. All right, I'm gonna make a mess, but there we go. And I got all the yolks intact. You see that?
One thing about our house is we're a revolving door. So we always have someone here, usually for the benefit of baseball, helping out, different resources, different people.
This is Dixie. She's our firstborn. That's what we joke. About 3.5 years ago, and I randomly saw a post on an ad on Facebook saying that there were 2 little dogs that were going to be taken to the pound by the end of the day if they weren't rescued or picked up. This guy was standing on the corner of the gas station with barely a 2-pound dog and a little baggie of food that was way too big for her to eat.
I think with any rescue, whenever you create that level of trust, I think they just end up being great dogs. It ends up like sleeping on top of my head sometimes at night.
It's like the situation of, like, you know, the dad that didn't want the dog. He's the dad that didn't want the dog, and now he couldn't be more attached to her.
Yeah, because when she told me, she's like, she didn't really tell me. She's like, I got a dog. I was like, you did what? She's like, I got a dog. I was like, why? Like, we don't have a home. We're in the minor leagues. She's like, no, it's gonna be great, I promise. I'm like, here we go. We own a dog.
I want to hear this from your take. I feel like I usually tell the story.
I had my first ever online class, and so they had the roster of who was in the class, and I'm scrolling through, and no teammates, no friends, I don't know anyone in this class. And I saw her name, and I knew some people that knew her. They went to high school with her. Sent her a message on social media, and I'm not active on social media at all because I wanted to create a group where we could just lean on each other, take tests.
He'd wait for me by the car to walk in to take the test. He would walk me back out to my car. Like, I was like, this guy's just like going above and beyond for what I thought was like just to be nice, you know? And then he messaged me maybe after like 3 times of taking tests, and he's like, do you want to get ice cream? He comes to pick me up, and I'm thinking we're gonna go to McDonald's or Dairy Queen, somewhere close by that has ice cream, and we pull up at the grocery store. Walmart. We pulled up at Walmart. And I'm like, well, what are we doing here?
And we walked in, and we went to the ice cream aisle, and I went, what do you want? And she was like, I was like, well, I wanted to get like a tub. Like, I was like, I'm young. I was like, I burn a lot of calories. Let's go get some ice cream. Like, I don't want like a little cone. Let's go get some ice cream. And
we got a whole pack of plastic spoons and 2 tubs of ice cream.
And we just sat in the car and ate ice cream and talked.
I got half-baked.
Half-baked ice cream.
Oh yeah, ice cream. The Ben & Jerry's flavor.
For the record, ice cream.
So Brendan isn't much of a coffee guy, but it's growing on him. We're getting there.
If it's something she cares about, then it's something that I should genuinely care about. And I think that's how you can have a healthy marriage and a healthy relationship.
But for anyone watching, don't knock my technique. I kind of skipped the tutorial and just did what made sense to me, so.
I mean, before we even dated, like, she's my best friend, so we enjoy being around each other. We enjoy hanging out, even though I'm not a huge coffee fan, but I'm learning to like coffee. Watching her do her thing is pretty cool. And she made a comment the other day. She's like, I don't know if that's the correct technique on how I'm supposed to do this. And it's like, who cares? It's something that you enjoy. And if you make a cup of coffee and someone says that they like the taste of it, then maybe you're doing it right.
He has a ton of great qualities, and I may be biased, but I think his intentionality, he's intentional in everything that he does. If he puts his mind to something, it's going to be done at the best possible level that it could possibly be done. Whether that be being a dad, being a husband, being, before we were married, being a spouse, building a barn.
I guess for lack of creativity, we named it the barn. We wanted to do it right. We wanted to have like a cool look to it. We wanted it to have some technology. We wanted to also kind of have a little bit of an old school vibe to it as well. This was actually a workshop before, a wood shop. There was sawdust everywhere. There was workbenches. There were cabinets on the wall. There was just like bolts and everything just in the corners. I walked in and immediately I was like, I made a big mistake.
See, I know him very well to this extent that I knew that if you saw it before we bought it, he would think that. We bought a condo in 2022 in Jupiter, Florida, and we completely renovated it. But it was a very similar situation. When you walked in, if you would have seen it before it was ever completed, he would have been like, well, what the heck did we do? But we had a vision. We knew it was gonna be the perfect space for exactly what he was looking for. He's wanted that for a really long time, so it was gonna work out perfectly like it did.
Obviously, we got mine and Allie's banners here. The banners are companies that I'm affiliated with, that I'm passionate about, ones that I support. Rawlings is amazing. Skechers, I'm signed with Skechers. They do a fantastic job. We made a statement with this banner, so very grateful to them. Team Red, White, and Blue is the organization that I've partnered with. They do a lot of awesome work with veterans, and someone obviously coming from a military background, something I'm very passionate about. I had to throw one up of my high school days. I look a lot different now, a little bit more hair on my face and my head, but I was like, that'd be a cool touch there. The gym is stuff that I've been accumulating for a couple years now. When the world was starting to shut down in 2020, I was buying as much weight equipment as I could afford. And I was still living at home. I had no money. I was living with my parents, and I was like, hey, I probably should have asked. I was like, hey, I'm putting a garage gym in there. Like, you're doing what? So a lot of this equipment has come from that. We've added small additions like the numbers. Anything to the right of that, it's like, that's fair, that's foul, based off of where home plate is. So I know when I'm training pitches on the inner half, what I can keep fair and what I can't. There's a hit tracks over there in the corner. It's one of my buddies. Obviously, I'm not in there trying to crank and see how hard I can hit the ball. I want to hit the ball hard and effectively, but I want to hit it at good angles, so I pay a lot of attention to that. That we wanted to do like a recovery room. Put a sauna in, sunlighting, amazing. It's a full spectrum sauna. We spend a lot of time in there. It's just something that's relaxing. Obviously, you're getting great health benefits from that. I don't really have to leave home much. I kind of have that. I wake up and I come down here and I get to work.
This is Adam. Adam, say hello.
What's up, everybody?
Adam and I
discovered Adam because he hides in the shadows.
I do.
probably 2 years ago.
I ended up having a surgery to fix a partially torn UCL. I connected with him. We built a kind of like a plan. Whenever I got down to Florida, it was like, boom, let's go. And I was like, what are we doing? Like, we weren't even like starting on my elbow. He was like starting on, like kind of like this. He was starting on my feet.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey man, I had surgery here.
And he's like, trust me. I would say career changing, because the injuries happen because of a deficiency somewhere else.
All sports, but baseball specifically, it's about energy efficiency and, you know, making sure everything really moves up the chain.
Your support group makes you who you are. They can bring you up, or if you surround yourself with people that aren't on the same path, they can bring you down.
So I'm out.
90-90?
Yeah, that's fine. Just as long as we're getting this squeeze right there. Yep.
There's like one drill always like an off season that I just like, my brain doesn't want to comprehend. And give me a demo before let me see it.
Okay, so we're going here. We're jumping across bringing the leg up and over so we're here. Landing on opposite.
So I'm jumping off my left onto my left.
Yeah, you're crossing over like this is the line.
So it's like,
Yep, landing. Now land on the other foot.
okay.
Yep. Yep. Perfect.
This bear crawl, he's probably top 3 in the country in bear crawls, I'm gonna call it.
Oh gosh.
With
Good.
bear crawls, look at him how he's almost like a conveyor belt. This is really the goal. A lot of people are very clunky. Keep everything smooth, look at that.
So we want to keep the hips from going back and forth. So if I was to have something balancing on his back, we'd want to balance that. So we just want to make sure we have hip control, our ribs are controlled.
All right, down and back.
Yeah, let's go down and then push back. So we'll do a forward and then a reverse. Yep, now push back. Good control. Try to keep the ribs still.
We try to make all training like pattern based. So when you do get out on the field, you're not just training in a box. You can make any play, or your brain just knows what to do.
Blue. Nice. Yellow. Nice. Red. Good. Come on, flip. Get back two. Nice. Not bad.
I don't think a lot of people understand how much work goes into the back end. And so being a part of that, it is special. And knowing anything that I can do that I can help make him any better than he could possibly be, I'm happy to do it. And it's fun. It's time. He spends so much time training that it's fun just being together, whether it's in the barn, in the house, on the field, running somewhere, anywhere. It's great. Is that better?
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm just working on creating deeper angles right here. Like if I'm at second or third and that ball's hitting the 4-hole or in the 6-hole, I need to create this angle to go that way to cut it off. So I'm just over exaggerating it here. I'm acting like the hitter's there, but the ball's hit over there and I'm trying to flip my hips, kind of like we were doing with the tennis balls. Now we're putting a little more speed to it. So training that pattern to be good at this pattern, if that makes sense, to hopefully translate it on the field. Trying to be as diligent as possible, keeping like a good presentation and catching it right there so it sticks in there. Not sometimes it'll like roll around and you're looking for it. I want it to stick so I can go in and get a good transfer. Thank you. Right now in January, it's kind of just like being aware where you're at and trying to like slowly build, like understanding you're trying to make practice as perfect as possible. I know that's not possible, but just like trying to build a baseline so when you get to spring training and you start seeing some velocity, you have a good foundation. Yeah, that is in there. That's way fair. Just clipped it a little bit. I like that one.
Yep, that's middle.
I don't pay too much attention to exit velocity. I know that if I'm in a good position and I'm in a strong pattern and I catch it flush, then I'll hit the ball hard enough. And then, like I said, that was 14 degrees to left center. So for me, it's like that's a good angle. That means like that pitch is like kind of up and out and I'm staying like, it was up, so more on top of it and through it.
Good.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's it.
Top?
Yep. And for me, with you, like when you clip balls, it's just like 2 or 3 inches too far up front where your hands like get ahead of everything else, right? But when you let it like be stronger contact, then you move where you want. And that's where you take that ball like middle end and hit it the middle because you have so much space to do it with.
Yeah.
Very good.
Still building. It's January.
Oh no, you're in a good place.
Yeah, I feel good.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Smoke toward right center. That's down for a base hit. Donovan tries for third. He's safe. Ball gets away. Donnie's streaking home. Throw won't be made. And the Cardinals take the lead.
Can this guy not do it all right here?
I've always said that home is where you're at that moment. So spring training, home's Florida. When we're here, home is here. When we're in St. Louis, that's home. I think that's a little bit of the military upbringing in me. I didn't really move too much, but You did have to learn how to adapt on the fly and make home where it is at that moment.
Well, I think we could both agree that you're only as great as the people you surround yourself with. So I think having a great community of people, whether it be here at home or our friends that fly in from the season, guys you play with, people that just build us both up, I think it's really important. And having a place that's comfortable and great, anything to make you better baseball-wise, just us better as a family, and just having a space.
We try to enjoy this while we're here and hope to be here for a long time and raise a big family here.